the Deputy Director of the KPI. I am Chawanduwan Kamano, the Senior Academician from KPI. Welcome to the KPI Congress, the 27th KPI Congress 2025 in this afternoon session. It's the thematic discussion under democratic and environmental diplomacy. The world have faced the changes, the rapid change, and that all the changes that we have faced to the climate change have impact in the well-being of the people. With each institution or country alone cannot solve this problem, so we need the collaboration from all walks of life, internationally and also domestically, to achieve sustainable development. This KPI Congress is one of our work in order to find the solutions in order to combat the climate change and adaptation. This year is the first year that we have the new chapter of the Congress. So we transform the system of the Congress so that we can encourage all parts and all sectors to participate in this Congress. We are finding a resolution. Everything we have discussed will be very beneficial for our policy makers. The carbon neutral policies, that is also the KPI emphasize on to organize this Congress with the zero emission scheme. We have the drinks, we have the recycle package of the water that we provide in this, and also we provide in this seminar, and also you will find that packages with the break and the lunches boxes that all the reusable and also eco-friendly packaging. And you cannot see like any flowers for the decoration, because we want to be very eco-friendly in this matter. This afternoon session we are starting within 5 or 10 minutes. Our schedule is like this. First, we will pay condolence to Her Majesty, the late Queen Mother. So we will ask for your participation for stand in silence about a minute in remembrance of Her Majesty. And then will be followed by the video presentation of the KPI. And then the welcome remarks by Dr. Issara Sereewatthanawut, the Secretary General of KPI. And at 13:30 will be the keynote speech by His Excellency Martin Chungong, the Secretary General of the Inter-Parliamentary Union. The topics of the role of IPU in advancing global environmental policy, parliamentary responsibility for the sustainable development. So all participants, you can ask for the interpretation device by using your ID card at the counter nearby the registration counter. Anyone who want to listen to English channel, please turn the device into channel E. And for everyone who wish to listen to Thai interpretation, please turn the device into the letter A. And then at the 14:00, 2 p.m. it will be the keynote speech by the uh, Director General of the Climate Change Department. Thailand's green future driving environmental action in the changing world is our theme in that time. And then we are going to have the break. We have a break, beverage and snacks. The restrooms is right on your right hand. And also the one nearby Krung Thai Bank. Just keep up walking forward into the other side of the floor. And then at 14:45 would be group discussion with two topics. The first one is Parliament role in environment justice and governance. That we will have it here in the B1/1. And the other one is multilateral approaches to environmental diplomacy in B1-2. So you may choose your interesting topics. So please make a registration. Since 2:45 p.m. onwards. So please do the registration before entering in the discussion group. We have two topics separated into two rooms. The first one is we have three panelists. First one, Dr. Saniwan Buaban, party list members from People's Party. And she is also the members of this committee on preventing the impacts of climate change. Secondly, Associate Professor Dr. Pirapon Jedrojananun, the Faculty of Law, NIDA. Thirdly, Miss Dawan Chanhasadi, the Senior Professor from Earth, Thailand. With Miss Khwankhaw Khongdesha, the academician of KPI, will be the moderator.
สถาบันพระปกเกล้าค่ะ
ครับในการอภิปรายในห้องที่2นะครับห้องย่อยที่2เป็นหัวข้อเรื่องของแนวทางพหุภาคีและการทูตด้าน
Our second room is in the topic of multilateral approaches to environmental diplomacy. We have Dr. Grisada Bunchai, the Secretary General of the Local Development Foundation. Dr. Wanavikom Panwongpakdi, the lecturer from NIDA University, from Thammasat University. And Dr. Vichan Simachaya, the director of Thai Environmental Center.
สันติวิธีและธรรมาภิบาลและคุณอินทุออนแสงอรัญครับนักวิชาการสำนักวิจัยและพัฒนาสถาบันพระปกเกล้าครับ
ค่ะและทั้งหมดนี้นะคะก็คือกำหนดการประชุมวิชาการสถาบันพระ
And that's all for the program of today. And we also have live broadcast through Facebook Live channel of KPI. So you may find this live broadcast to the Facebook channel of KPI. And also from the Department of Public
นะครับที่ องค์ปาถกนะครับจะเข้าสู่ห้องประชุมแห่งนี้ในเวลาอันใกล้นี้แล้วนะครับเน้นประชาสัมพันธ์อีกครั้งหนึ่งนะครับท่านที่ต้องการใช้หูฟังแปลภาษานะครับท่านสามารถติดต่อที่บริเวณจุดด้านหน้าห้องประชุม B1-1 แห่งนี้นะครับโดยนำบัตรประชาชนของท่านหรือบัตรประจำตัวของท่านไปแลกนะครับชุดหูฟังแปลภาษานี่นะครับได้ที่บริเวณหน้าห้องนะครับอีกสักครู่หนึ่งเราจะเข้าสู่ช่วงพิธีการนะครับแล้วก็เพื่อได้รับการฟังสัมมนาอย่างต่อเนื่องนะครับก็รบกวนปรับโทรศัพท์ของท่านนะครับอยู่ในรูปแบบ
Please turn off your device, your electronic device, your mobile phones, or set it to the vibration mode, silence mode. Thank you.
ขณะนี้เป็นช่วงของการเตรียมการเข้าสู่การ
We will begin shortly.
ทั้งไทยและต่างประเทศนะครับเข้าสู่ห้องสัมมนา B1-1 แห่งนี้อย่างต่อเนื่องนะครับแล้วก็ที่ว่างก็จะเริ่มเหลือจำกัดแล้วนะครับ
ใช่แล้วล่ะค่ะสำหรับการเสวนานะคะ
For today's discussion and the seminar in this afternoon, we have the live broadcast through the KPI Facebook Live and also the Legislative College of the KPI channel Facebook page and the College of Good Governance and Sustainability, and we also have the Department of Public Relations Department and YouTube channel of the Public Relations Department. So we will begin shortly. So please turn off your mobile devices or set them into silent mode. Thank you very much. We will begin shortly.
ออกไปแล้ว
ครับขณะนี้ได้เวลาอันสมควรแล้วนะครับผมขอ
I would like to take this opportunity. Please stand in to pay in remembrance of Her Majesty Queen Sirikit, the Queen Mother. Please stand and keep silence in remembrance of Her Majesty.
ครับขอเชิญทุกท่านนั่งลงครับ
และ
Next will be our video presentation for the opening of the KPI, the 27th KPI Congress.
ท่ามกลางกระแสการเปลี่ยนแปลงของโลกที่เต็มไปด้วยความท้าทายทางการเมืองเศรษฐกิจและสังคมประชาธิปไตย ยังคงเป็นเสาหลักสำคัญที่ต้องปรับตัวเพื่อรองรับความซับซ้อนของยุคสมัยใหม่สถาบันพระปกเกล้าในฐานะสถาบันทางวิชาการที่อยู่ภายใต้การกำกับดูแลของประธานรัฐสภาทำหน้าที่ในการเผยแพร่ความรู้ด้านการเมืองการปกครองในระบอบประชาธิปไตยอันมีพระมหากษัตริย์ทรงเป็นประมุขไปสู่ประชาชนภายใต้วิสัยทัศน์ที่ว่าสถาบันพระปกเกล้าจะมุ่งสู่การเป็นคลังสมองของชาติด้านนิติบัญญัติขับเคลื่อนองค์กรสู่การเปลี่ยนแปลงเพื่อสังคมที่ยั่งยืนสถาบันพระปกเกล้าก่อตั้งขึ้นเพื่อเฉลิมพระเกียรติในวโรกาสครบรอบ 100 ปีแห่งวันพระบรมราชสมภพของพระบาทสมเด็จพระปรมินทรมหาประชาธิปกพระปกเกล้าเจ้าอยู่หัวเริ่มเปิดดำเนินงานในฐานะนิติบุคคลเมื่อวันที่ 5 กันยายน พุทธศักราช 2541 โดยได้รับพระราชทานพระบรมราชานุญาตจากพระบาทสมเด็จพระบรมชนกาธิเบศรมหาภูมิพลอดุลยเดชมหาราชบรมนาถบพิตรให้เชิญพระปรมาภิไธยของพระบาทสมเด็จพระปกเกล้าเจ้าอยู่หัวมาเป็นมงคลนามของสถาบัน
ในวาระการดำรงตำแหน่งของผมในฐานะเลขาธิการผมมีความมุ่งมั่นที่จะพัฒนาสถาบันให้ก้าวสู่การเป็นคลังสมองของชาติด้านนิติบัญญัติและขับเคลื่อนองค์กรสู่การเปลี่ยนแปลงเพื่อสังคมที่ยั่งยืนการเป็นคลังสมองของชาติด้านนิติบัญญัติที่ผมพูดถึงก็หมายถึงว่าจะต้องเป็นสิ่งที่เรียกว่า National Think Tank ของฝ่ายนิติบัญญัติทำหน้าที่ช่วยคิดช่วยกรองช่วยเตรียมในวาระต่างๆที่จะเข้าสู่กระบวนการนิติบัญญัติทั้งหมดภายใต้ยุทธศาสตร์3ด้านคือ1ด้านวิชาการ2คือด้านพิพิธภัณฑ์และ3คือด้านการบริหารจัดการองค์กรการดำเนินการเช่นนี้จะเกิดขึ้นโดยผ่านพันธกิจทั้ง4ด้านของสถาบันนะครับประกอบด้วยด้านแรกคือการมุ่งมั่นที่จะพัฒนาองค์ความรู้ผ่านการวิจัยของสถาบันให้เป็นแหล่งอ้างอิงทางด้านวิชาการของฝ่ายนิติบัญญัติอันที่2ก็คือการบริหารจัดการหลักสูตรฝึกอบรมของสถาบันให้เป็นโรงเรียนพัฒนาผู้นำที่ดีที่สุดของประเทศอันที่3คือพัฒนาพิพิธภัณฑ์พระบาทสมเด็จพระปกเกล้าเจ้าอยู่หัวให้เป็นแหล่งท่องเที่ยวที่สำคัญของประเทศผ่านการเรียนรู้ทางด้านประวัติศาสตร์และด้านพระปกเกล้าศึกษาและในด้านที่4คือการบริหารจัดการองค์กรและสินทรัพย์ของสถาบันนะครับสถาบันจะต้องมีระบบบริหารจัดการองค์กรที่มุ่งไปสู่การเป็นสถาบันคาร์บอนต่ำนะครับรวมทั้งจะบริหารจัดการทั้งองค์กรและทรัพย์สินอย่างมีประสิทธิภาพโปร่งใสด้วยหลักธรรมาภิบาล
ด้วยความเชื่อมั่นที่เรามีร่วมกันจะสานต่อการพัฒนาประชาธิปไตยอันมีพระมหากษัตริย์ทรงเป็นประมุขสู่ความยั่งยืนตลอดไป
ครับ and that's the video presentation of the opening of this 27th KPI Congress. Next, I would like to invite Associate Professor Dr. Issara Sereewatthanawut, Secretary General of King Prajadhipok Institute, to give a welcome remarks. Please, Secretary General.สวัสดีครับทุกท่านครับผมเห็นว่าเขาเตรียมบทให้ผมเป็นภาษาอังกฤษแต่ว่าเนื่องจากในนี้มีคนไทยมากกว่านะครับsorry they prepared in Thai so I would like to take this opportunity to deliver in Thai because the majority of the participants in this room is Thai.So I would like to welcome all participants from many institutes and also the students of King Prajadhipok. These under the theme Thai platform in this challenging world, in this changing world.The Congress is, we have this Congress with our KPI Institute since the first day of our establishment. This time is the 7th time of having the Congress. And we have visited UNSCAP, and we got the royal gracious from Her Royal Highness Princess Prajadhipok to opening the remarks. But after the COVID pandemic, we have adjusted from on-site to the online platform. And we keep doing that until the 6th Congress last year. So this year, we are planning to have the online Congress, but after my tenure, I initiate to adjust from online back to on-site here in the Parliament. The first one, we have the morning session. Is the first time that we invite the two groups of people to join. The first one is the members of the Parliament from standing committees from both houses, Senate and members of the House of Representatives. And the second group is the ambassadors and diplomatic corps, the members of international organization. Amidst the formality and also amidst the sadness of the passing of Her Majesty, the late Queen Mother. So today we have the 15 days ceremony in order to the 15 days of after the passing of Her Majesty. So this morning we have explained the detail and also the information, the insights based on the fact. And Thailand's political situation is challenging and volatile. But nevertheless, but legislative still the more sustained and stable institutions compared to the executives, because you can see that we have changed many prime ministers in the recent years. And the legislative is the institution that very close to the people. So there is no other branch of the sovereignty that close to the people than the legislative. And thirdly, Thailand, we are representative democracy. So the executive may exercise their power as the executive, but the legislative, we have both the Senate and also the House of Representatives consist of many political parties. But our work based on facts and is a non-biased information. So this afternoon, we have the role of Parliament in environmental justice and good governance topics. So Thailand can stand proudly in the international community. We need three things. So first, as the members of international community, we need governance. Secondly, that this idea have been more clear picture that the parliamentary diplomacy is also a key to achieve. So this is the role of Thai Parliament in order to accelerate this emergency agenda about anti-scammers, the emergency item in the IPU assembly. So this is how the parliamentary diplomacy works in the international level, and also to solve the conflict between Thailand and Cambodia. Today, we are very honored to have the Secretary General of the Inter-Parliamentary Union or IPU, because the IPU has founded before the United States. The headquarters in Geneva, Switzerland. I have invited the Secretary General. Is equally the United Nations. United Nations represents the executives, while the IPU represents the legislative. So they have more than 180 or more member countries, member parliaments. He will be our speaker today to show us the importance and the role of Thailand in the international community platform that we emphasize on these topics. So today, before this Congress, I have the meeting with all the executives that this meeting is just not merely formality. We just don't talk, but we walk. We have to walk the talk, because you can see from every single can that we use to serve the water, serve a refreshment here in this seminar, is in order to reduce the carbon emission. So this meeting, this Congress will not emit any carbon dioxide, and we want to lower the carbon emission to achieve the carbon dioxide. So we can manage it on the carbon credit in the carbon credit market. So I can guarantee you that this meeting, since start from the morning until the end of this seminar, is the carbon-free meeting. We can achieve carbon neutrality. So not only the records, not only the minutes, the reports of this seminar, but we walk the talk. So I have the arguments on the regulations of how to spend expenditure, the budget, that we need to buy the cheapest thing. But for eco-friendly products, you cannot buy with the cheapest price. So it's not price that matter. So we have the first one, the first room of this thematic discussion is the role of Parliament in environmental justice and good governance. But in the other room, we have the multilateral approaches and environmental diplomacy. So these are the two dimensions with relevant but different. So this is how the environmental democracy and diplomacy are made. So in the other room, we are talking about multilateral approaches and environmental democracy, because it's the perspective about the promoting regional and global cooperation. So you may choose the theme or the room that you find fits to your interests. We hope that our seminars today will come up with ideas and solutions to our policy makers and policy making. So today we will have exchange. These will become the tangible or concrete recommendations to our policymakers. I would like to thank the Secretary General of the IPU, the ambassadors, the representatives of international organizations, the executive from the Secretary of the House of Representatives and the Secretariat of the Senate, all participants, all panelists. Thank you very much for attending this seminar. And please follow our entire seminar through the live broadcast in Facebook page. We hope that this will be the most optimum benefits for Thai people and the world. Thank you very much.
ศาสตราจารย์ดร.อิสระ
Thank you very much, SSCA Professor Dr. Issara Sereewatthanawut, Secretary General of King Prajadhipok Institute. Up next will be the opening speech by His Excellency Martin Chungong, Secretary General of Inter-Parliamentary Union, in the role of the IPU in advancing global environmental policy parliamentary responsibility for sustainable development.
เลขาธิการสหภาพรัฐสภาตั้งแต่ปี 2557
and he have the experience more than 40 decade that he promote the democracy and also the good community for the people of all the world to concern to the democracy, and then he also have the he had already appointed by the UN Secretary General as the one of the global leader committee to fight the malnutrition through the scale up nutrient movement. He has been named in so many organizations like Charlie or the La Place, and then he also have the the other one from the Uzbekistan, and he also have the other so many honor from so many country. And I would like to invite Mr. Martin Chungong, the Secretary General of Inter-Parliamentary Union, to have the speech about the role of IPU in advancing global environmental policy, parliamentary responsibility for the sustainable development.
Thank you very much, Mr. Director of Ceremonies, Your Excellencies, distinguished ambassadors, honorable members of Parliament, Secretary General of KPI, Dr. Issara, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure, and it's indeed an honor for me to join you here today at this 27th Congress of the KPI. I feel privileged to have been asked to deliver the keynote address at this very important gathering. Before I do so, I would like to convey my heartfelt condolences to the Kingdom and people of Thailand on the passing of the beloved Queen Mother of this nation, Queen Sirikit. Our hearts go out to all of you. I would like also to commend the KPI for bringing together such a distinguished and impressive group of participants. It is incredibly fruitful to have parliamentarians, scholars, community leaders, and citizens together in the same room to discuss one of the defining challenges of our time, the environment. This is in line with the IPU's parliamentary ecosystems approach, whereby Parliament can only be efficient and effective when it works in cooperation with all segments of society. Parliaments do not exist in isolation, but in a complex system in constant interaction with other institutions of government, beginning with the executive, as well as political parties, civil society organizations, constituents, the media, the scientific community, academia, and others. I have been asked by the organizers of this Congress to talk about the IPU's role in advancing global environmental policy. In doing so, I use the opportunity to introduce the organization that I lead, which many of you may not be very familiar with. And I thank Dr. Issara for having made the initial introductions regarding the Inter-Parliamentary Union. This organization, as he said, was created way before the United Nations. It was created before the predecessor of the United Nations, the League of Nations. Indeed, it was created in the late 19th century, in 1889. And over 136 years of existence, it has worked as a forum for mobilizing parliaments in support of peace. Today, the IPU has grown from a handful of parliamentarians in those days to a global organization of some 183 national parliaments. We promote democratic governance, institutions, and values, working with parliaments and parliamentarians to articulate and respond to the needs and aspirations of the people. We work for peace, democracy, human rights, gender equality, youth engagement, youth empowerment, climate action, and sustainable development, all of this through parliamentary dialogue, political engagement, cooperation, and parliamentary action. In all of its work, the Inter-Parliamentary Union seeks to strengthen national parliaments' capacity to carry out their various important roles, from serving and representing diverse constituents to acting to hold their governments accountable at home and internationally, to creating and resourcing legislation on a wide array of issues to ensure the well-being of their people now and in the future. The IPU's work is predicated on the idea that strong and effective parliaments can safeguard fundamental human rights, ensure sustainable development that leaves no one behind, achieve gender equality, empower youth, create pathways for peace and security, and protect the planet. The IPU recognizes that parliaments are called upon to constantly evolve to better serve their constituents. They therefore need to be equipped with the best insights, ways of working, and resources that allow them to anticipate and solve problems and make decisions for the long-term interest of all the people, of all their people. Yet, as much as individually strong parliaments are instrumental to progress, they are not enough. The IPU is therefore dedicated to bringing together 183 of the world's parliaments to work jointly on an equal footing. The global position allows it to accelerate progress by connecting parliaments to each other for peer learning with mutual respect and support, complement parliaments' experience with data and research, and catalyze joint political action on critical global issues that affect the lives of all people everywhere. It is this strategy that informs the IPU's efforts in the area we're concerned with today, environmental policy, and singularly climate action, which, if I may add, has been recognized by all 183 member parliaments of the IPU as the #1 priority. In so doing, we are inspired by our vision for a world where every voice counts, where democracy and parliaments are at the service of the people for peace and development. From the air we breathe to the food we eat and the water we drink, the health of our environment is inseparable from the health of our societies. Decisions made in parliaments today ripple far beyond legislative halls. They shape the livelihoods, security, and well-being of millions. This gathering is also a powerful reminder that democratic institutions are not abstract structures, but rather living spaces where societies negotiate their future. And there is perhaps no issue today that will define the future more than how we respond to the environmental crisis. The choices we make now will shape the world not just for the next political cycle, but for generations to come. The theme of this Congress, environmental democracy and diplomacy, could not be a more timely issue to discuss. Environmental degradation, climate change, biodiversity loss, and pollution are not abstract threats. Indeed, just before this session, we're having a conversation about what is happening in Cebu in the Philippines, which is in the throes of a major storm. And it was anticipated that that storm might hit Bangkok this evening. So you'll see that we are witnessing an environmental crisis that is a reality that is affecting people's health, livelihoods, and security across the globe as we speak. These challenges do not respect national borders. Indeed, as former UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon used to say, climate change has no passport. These transboundary problems therefore require transboundary solutions. As you will have understood from what I said a while ago, environmental democracy and diplomacy also speak directly to the heart of what the IPU stands for: cooperation among the world's parliaments, the strengthening of democracy, and the advancement of sustainable development. And when we talk about environmental democracy, we are not only talking about environmental policy, we're also talking about environmental justice. It is about ensuring that everyone has a voice, that benefits and burdens are shared equitably, fairly, and that no individual or community is left marginalized or overlooked in decisions that affect their lives and livelihoods. As we gather here today, we do so at a moment when the consequences of environmental decline are becoming increasingly visible and increasingly costly. Droughts are expanding and becoming longer. Floods are becoming more frequent and more devastating in their wake. Heat waves are breaking records year after year. Entire ecosystems are collapsing, and with them, the ways of life of millions of people. What was once predicted is now observable fact. The climate and environmental crises are not crises of the future, they are already unfolding before our own eyes. And yet, despite the gravity of the situation, we all stand at a moment of possibility and opportunity. The decisions made in the coming years, especially at the level of parliaments, will determine whether we remain on a path of environmental destruction or chart a new course towards resilience, responsibility, and shared prosperity. It would be remiss of me not to acknowledge the substantial progress we as the global community have achieved on environment, climate, and sustainable development agreements. From the Sustainable Development Goals to the Paris Agreement to the Kunming-Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework, we can applaud these achievements. However, implementation remains a gap. And that is why the role of parliaments and of the Inter-Parliamentary Union as the global organization of national parliaments is so critical. Parliaments are where commitments become reality. Parliaments are where international agreements are translated into national laws, budgets, and oversight mechanisms. Without parliaments, there can be no implementation, and without implementation, even the most important international agreements remain only words on paper. Too often, we celebrate treaties and agreements at the moment of signing, but we fail to build the machinery required to turn aspiration into action. In short, accountability is not always adequately built into these treaties. Oftentimes, legislation lags behind commitments, budgets do not match ambitions, and oversight mechanisms are weak. Parliaments are uniquely positioned to close the gap. They can and must ensure that promises made at international tables result in real-world improvements for citizens, communities, and the environment. Because the truth is, no global environmental goal can be achieved without national legislation, national budgets, and national accountability frameworks at the different levels. And these are all, without exception, at the core of the work of parliaments. I am cognizant of the fact that I'm speaking to an audience that includes several parliamentarians, but you'll bear with me to stress and drive home this point, if only because I want to create greater awareness and spur more action from the representatives of the people. At the Inter-Parliamentary Union, we work with our 183 member parliaments to help make sure real sustainable progress is made on addressing the world's most pressing environmental issues. There is no gainsaying that climate change represents a global existential threat. Given the urgency, IPU members have stressed the need for the IPU to take urgent action to contribute to global efforts to restore the planet's ecological health. To uphold the multilateral consensus and accelerate the green transition globally, the IPU is helping parliaments make progress on and increase accountability for the Paris Agreement and advance other climate-related treaties, accelerate decarbonization, and reduce the carbon footprint within parliaments themselves. The IPU is also endeavoring to reduce its own carbon footprint in its activities as an organization, including its assemblies, the ultimate goal of the IPU's action being to allow all people to live on a healthier planet with warming limited to 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. So, how in practical terms are we following through on this ambition? Firstly, The Inter-Parliamentary Union raises political awareness, and that is our advocacy role, through our biannual assemblies, regional seminars, and political gatherings at high-level fora, including the United Nations Climate Change Conventions or conferences. We bring together the global parliamentary community to exchange good practices, build networks, and generate collective political will to act. These gatherings allow parliamentarians to see solutions in action by providing a platform for parliaments to come together to debate, reflect on, and identify common solutions. The seeds for a more connected and more collaborative world are sown, and the pathways for meaningful, coordinated action become clearer. I have just come from Qatar, which has been hosting the second Summit on Social Development. And the IPU and the Parliament of Qatar were pleased to be able to convene a parliamentary forum bringing together parliamentarians from across the world to provide a parliamentary perspective to the deliberations of that second summit. And these parliamentarians were forthcoming in identifying pathways to address social development through Parliament's legislative, budgetary, and oversight functions. This week, parliamentarians are headed to Belém, Brazil, on the occasion of the 30th Conference of Parties of the UNFCCC, and it will be in the same spirit, that of ensuring that the voice of parliaments is heard loud and clear in global fora such as COP30. So the message is clear. There should be no global conversation or even regional conversation for that matter without the voice of the people's representatives being heard. The IPU is dedicated to mobilizing parliaments and making sure their voice is heard and that real aspirations of the people are woven into the outcomes of these global gatherings. Second, the IPU provides tools and guidance to national parliaments in a tailored way, and in a way that is truly driven by the needs of Parliament. We connect parliaments with the world's leading environmental and climate experts, ensuring that legislators have access to the latest scientific knowledge and best practices. By equipping parliaments with this information, we enable them to make informed decisions, draft effective legislation, and oversee implementation with confidence. In this regard, I wish to point out that the IPU, in partnership with the London School of Economics, has established a database of climate-related legislation and policies that is intended to serve as a resource for parliaments and parliamentarians wishing to design national laws and policies in this area. The IPU has launched also a series of videos on key climate topics to help parliaments around the world make progress on climate action. Topics cover climate science, global climate governance, climate and the private sector, climate just transitions, and climate action tools. Third, we promote accountability. Through the IPU's self-assessment toolkit for parliaments on the SDGs, we encourage parliaments to measure how effectively they are supporting sustainable development, including environmental sustainability. Furthermore, through the IPU's Parliaments for Planet campaign, parliaments are encouraged to track their emissions and monitor their progress on achieving environmental sustainability. We believe that change begins at home, and that leading by example sends a powerful signal to citizens when Parliament takes responsibility. It inspires society to follow. And if you allow me, I will say a few words about this campaign. It is intended to mobilize parliaments and parliamentarians to accelerate action on the climate emergency. It is designed to spur parliaments and parliamentarians to use their power to create change in parliament and pressure government to commit to stronger climate action. I encourage those of you who have not yet done so to download the toolkit for this campaign from the IPO website and to sign up to the campaign. Indeed, when parliaments measure their own carbon footprint, when they adopt green procurement policies, when they modernize buildings or reduce paper waste, they are not just setting an example. They are demonstrating their commitment to act. They are showing citizens that environmental leadership is not something they ask of society, but something they also embody themselves. At the Inter-Parliamentary Union, we believe that every parliament, no matter its size, can be equipped to lead. And equipping parliaments to lead goes beyond shaping domestic policy. It also strengthens their ability to engage in international cooperation, parliamentary diplomacy, while upholding the principles of inclusion and accountability. In this way, environmental diplomacy and environmental democracy are deeply connected to the support the IPU provides to parliaments around the world. Environmental diplomacy requires parliaments to think beyond borders. It calls for cooperation on shared responsibilities or resources such as rivers, forests, and air. In Southeast Asia, this is especially relevant. The Mekong River, for example, is not just a lifeline for one nation, but for millions across the region. Parliamentarians can and must play a key role in ensuring that such shared ecosystems and vital resources are managed sustainably and fairly so that all nations can benefit while also jointly contributing to their preservation. Allow me to dwell a bit on environmental democracy. I use the opportunity to commend Thailand on enshrining environmental democracy in its national strategy plan for 2018-2037. In my view, environmental democracy must ensure that all voices, including those of the poor, of ethnic minorities, of women, youth, and the elderly, are heard in international or environmental decision-making. Parliaments, as the mirror of society, have the duty to open their doors to these voices, to legislate for access to information, and to protect the right of citizens to participate in legislative processes. Democracy itself can be seen as a tool for environmental resilience. When citizens trust their institutions and can take part in shaping environmental policy, the outcomes are more just, more sustainable, and more impactful. For parliaments to be deserving of that trust and thus live up to the values of democracy, they should be representative and therefore inclusive. They should be transparent and accountable to the people. Environmental democracy also demands honesty. It demands that policies must reflect scientific reality, that public participation must be meaningful, and that long-term interest must not be sacrificed for short-term gain. In many parts of the world, citizens are more informed, more engaged, and more determined or demanding than ever before. Rather than viewing this heightened awareness and scrutiny as a challenge, parliaments should see it as a source of strength. It can be seen as an opportunity to build policies that are resilient, inclusive, widely supported, and therefore more legitimate. When citizens are actively involved and when their concerns are genuinely considered, policies become stronger, implementation becomes more effective, and trust in democratic institutions is reinforced. In this sense, an engaged public is not a threat to parliamentary work. It is the very foundation on which enduring environmental progress is built. Again, this is consistent with the Inter-Parliamentary Union's parliamentary ecosystem approach, which I referred to earlier in my statement. The IPU stands ready to continue empowering parliaments to become engines of good environmental governance and sustainable development. Through capacity building and interparliamentary dialogue, the IPU is available to accompany parliaments on their journey to becoming environmental leaders. And we see this happening already in many countries around the globe, including right here in Thailand, where important legislation on climate change and clean air has been actively and thoughtfully debated. But we also know that environmental democracy is not only about passing laws, it's about ensuring that laws are monitored, evaluated, and constantly improved. It is about public participation, access to justice, and transparency. It is about creating environmental policies that do not just work on paper, but work for people, especially those most at risk from the damaging impacts of climate change and environmental degradation. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, let us remember, protecting the environment is not a matter for the future. It is a responsibility of the current generation. Each law that Parliament passes, each budget that parliaments approve can either bring us closer to sustainability or push us further from it. The task is to ensure that parliaments everywhere are on the right side of that choice. The challenges we face in protecting our planet are vast and complex, yet our capacity to respond, especially when we respond collectively, is even greater. Each law passed, each budget approved, and each oversight review undertaken can bring us closer to a sustainable future. Parliamentarians have the power to turn ambition into action and to leave a legacy of resilience for future generations. Let us rise to that responsibility together here in Thailand, across Southeast Asia, and around the world, ensuring that democracy, cooperation, and sustainability work hand in hand. As the Inter-Parliamentary Union celebrates over 136 years of bringing parliaments together for peace, democracy, and development, we reaffirm our commitment to supporting your parliament, the Parliament of Thailand, and all parliaments around the world for that matter, in shaping a greener, fairer, and more sustainable future. In so doing, the Inter-Parliamentary Union should and is indeed walking the talk. It is greening its processes, reducing its carbon footprint, and pursuing a progressive sustainability policy. I thank you for your attention.
ก็เสร็จสิ้นลงไปแล้วนะคะสำหรับปาฐกถาเปิดโดย
And that's the keynote speech by His Excellency Martin Chungong, the Secretary General of the Inter-Parliamentary Union, under the theme of the role of the IPU in advancing global environmental policy, parliamentary responsibility for sustainable development. It's been our honor, the honor of King Prajadhipok Institute, to listen to your visionary speech in collaborating with many countries and international organizations for the effective and actions with the good governance of every country in the world. The environmental issue is very crucial for Thailand, and we have many policies to tackle with this. And next, we are going. Our next panelist is the Thailand's Green Future: Driving Environmental Action in Changing World, by Dr. With the Director General of Climate Change and Environment Department, which is the key department of Thailand in order to mobilize the policies on Thailand's green future. I would like to invite the Director General of Climate Change and Environment Department. Please, Dr. Phirun Saiyasitpanich, you have your stage.
ก็ก่อนอื่นนะครับต้องเรียนท่านรองศาสตราจารย์ดร.อิสระเสรีวัฒนาวุฒินะครับท่านเลขาธิการสถาบันพระปกเกล้านะครับ His Excellency Martin Chungong, Secretary General of the Inter-Parliamentary Union, Excellency Ambassadors, สมาชิกรัฐสภานะครับผู้แทนองค์การระหว่างประเทศนะครับผู้แทนจากหน่วยงานภาครัฐภาคเอกชน
and members of the different private organization and the students from the KPI class 29. All of you are here. Thank you. MM from class 27. And today I have the question that if Thailand would like to step forward for the climate changing world, and I think that we have to see that how to step forward. There is change very quickly. I would like to take only the short period of time, but I would like to show you all the overview of the climate change. And if we look back in 1972, I think many of you haven't born yet, and we can mention about the declaration, and it is said that people must have freedom, liberty, equality, and good well-being in the safety environment, including how to manage the natural resources that is suitable in this period for us and for the next generation. And in 1992, when we had the Rio Declaration, at that point, there is the principle that many people will see that there are 5 principles that is very important, and this will linked to the environment and how to manage the environment, the well-being. For example, the sovereignty in the natural resources, that it is called sovereignty over natural resources. It is in the section 173. It means that for the natural resources, when we have to do something with other countries, it must be approved from the parliament. And we have to protect the damage. So we have the precautionary principle, and we have the pollution pay principle. And another is the cooperation or common but differentiated legibility. This point is very important to differentiate between the poor and the rich, and the most developed and the least developed. And it's about the from the real correlation, it leads to the three ways. We can say that three siblings sisters. The first one is the convention about the biological diversity. We have to preserve it, and we have to use it sustainably. And the second one is the convention that is against the desert and the drought, because the land is destroyed, and it is the another one is the convention on the climate change, and the last one is the biggest that we have, the conference of the party every year. And this month, November, they will have the meeting in Belém. It is in the mouth of Amazon Bank, and I'm going to leave Thailand on the 14th to attend the meeting. For the convention, it is said that it's convention, and if we have a look at the issue, the triple planetary crisis, we have been talking about this point for 30 years. This principle looks simple, but how to do in a way of walk and talk to make it to be in the sustainability is not so easy. And many times it is interpreted in different ways. If we do it in the business line, it may make us have the less profits. So many people have this question. We concern about the overall profit, not by the individual. For example, when we have the policy, the policy must be the overall benefit, the benefit for all. This is the principle, and over the past 30 years, we talk about the sustainability, but now we talk about the triple planetary crisis. We have the air pollution, biologicality loss, and the third one is the climate change. And what I have said is transfer to the business leader under the World Economic Forum. They have the ranking about the in 10 years in the future, and this issue will be the main one to that we have to concern. So we back to have a look at the Thai Constitution. We pay attention to the environment from section 43 to section 59, and for the section 58 we have the we talk about the people to get involved in the environment, such as the air quality, the environmental management. And in Thailand, we have the one problem that I have in this field since I have finished from the university about the 30 years. What I would like to say that when we talk about the right, we should give the right, or we should not give the right to others. Sometimes we give them the right, give the people the right, but we give them very little rights. But sometimes when we give the people the rights, we give them too much. So in the middle, we will not see in the middle. When we give right to someone, it may affect to others. So we should have the balance, and in order not to affect others' rights. And this is we have to try to tackle the problem. For example, the Environment Act. We try to change the law, and it's not easy to change the law in Thailand. The second one is the Clean Air Act. For this act is very crucial. It has a very good objective, good aim. And I think I may invite all of you to read this act. For me, I would like to read. I would like to know that how they would like to solve the problem. And one thing that I don't want to mention, as some of you may involve in the environmental field, because in this act there is too many details that is contained in this act, because as it's too many details, so it's not easy to tackle or to do some action. For example, for the air pollution or PM 2.5. But what we do is we tackle something that beyond what we can solve. So I would say that when we tackle some problem, it means that it affects the others or increase the problem. It's not easy to tackle the problem, and it makes the government organization not easy to solve such problems. And the law that passed the cabinet will be is different from the law that passed from other organization or other branch. If the provision is changed, so the two act or two law cannot get along together. And it's happened in the field of legislature. And another one is the draft about the climate change and environment, and it will be proposed to the parliament soon. For the climate change, we have the Paris Convention. The principle how we stabilize the density of the climate not over 2.5. We have 127 countries around the world, and how to manage to drive the cooperation, and we should have the cooperation for the carbon credit as well. This is the point about the common and differentiated, as we mentioned about the rich and the poor. How we manage is different. When we solve the problem, the temperature may increase. Sometimes, for example, for the island country, if they don't adapt themselves, it's very hard because the temperature increases. So we should reduce the temperature 1.5 degree, but now it's 1.7 degrees. There is the environment program. It is said that if we still do what we are doing now, the temperature will be increasing. So the political mechanism to tackle the problem, and in Thailand we are looking back the political party, the Prime Minister party, because he's the main party. We mentioned about the disaster, and the world is getting warmer. It's not only Thailand that released this one. So how to tackle the disaster? What we have to do is to prevent the loss and damage too much, as it will affect the people. We should have the modern warning system that is very accurately, and people will have time to move their property or their life to avoid the loss of life. And the other issue is for the 2025, we will have the net zero, carbon net zero. And this is in accordance with the goal to set our goal, and we propose the NDC 3.0. It is under the Paris Agreement, and we have to in the 2030 we have the plan already. We already implemented. We have the following up, and it's from the 2030 is a course from the past, and in the 2035 we have to reduce the NDC 3.0 in 2035. So when we the principle is if we want to set the goal, we have to send it in advance, 10 years in advance. This is the principle, and Thailand had already done that. The main substance from the COP 28 and 29, we have to reduce the GHG. That means in 2019, when we release the GHG, so the next year we have to reduce it. We have to propose the plan and even to increase the forest land, and we must have the something to catch the carbon release. This is the it is under the sea base, under the sea, under the bottom of the sea. This is the principle that Thailand already submitted the plan. This is the main point, as we will have the pathway according to the Paris Agreement, and many countries in ASEAN have the same target. Even Singapore and Malaysia and Thailand should set the goal that is in line with the world goal as well. And I think that if we do before others, it will be better. And this is what we already proposed to the cabinet, to reduce the GHG for each sector, and we have the investment plan to subsidize the Thailand, for example, for the loan, and some it is separated in each field. It is a main cost. It's not financially available. We want the other countries to subsidize us. In Thailand, I would say that Thailand is a vulnerability if we compare to 197 countries worldwide. It may cause from the our geology, and because at Thailand we have the agricultural field, because we can create the value added in the agricultural field more than the product that we sell, because we can't compete with our neighboring country. This makes Thailand is vulnerable. So we should have the adaptation. For sure, the temperature will increase. This is the pattern that temperature will increase. Just we adapt. It may change a lot, or it may change not much. But if we have the good one, we will lose less. It's very easy. It's a very simple principle, and in other fields like tourism, health, or the human security, for the sixth field has the action plan this year, and such plans will coordinate with other ministries, and this will respond to the resilience each field, and it will be back for their integration together. The output that can be the good model or the best practice for the each country has different plan because it's different places and the risks or the vulnerability is different. And for Thailand this year we will do the databases, and for this year they will have the COP30, they will have the global goal adaptation, they will do the shortlist indicator that it will be the universal that every country will use the same, which is in line with the Paris Agreement. And for each country can deal with the burden that happened. And for the COP30, Thailand will attend this one and will have the chance to participate for setting, which there are many countries like G7 and many countries to attend the conference. Now, if we don't have the plan, we will do many things like the same what we do. Now, the world is changing very fast. If we don't have the new equipment, how can we travel? So, we write the draft about the climate change, about the policy and plan. We have the many chapters about the finance of the climate change of Thailand, and we have the obligation and for the subsidy. I would say that all laws in Thailand we focus to force or to force people that this is the good goal or the good objective, but it doesn't mean that we will achieve what we want to get. So now what we have done is we review all laws in many countries. For example, in Great Britain. So we have a look at which mechanism we should adapt to Thailand. We analyze and we tell that is whether it is suitable for Thai context and it can get along with the adaptation. At the same time, in Thailand, we can solve the problem. We can protect the disaster, and we hope that for this draft will get approved from the cabinet, and we have the subcommittee to consider this draft, and there are other relevant organization and the private sector to have the cooperation. I do believe that this law will not can make everyone satisfied, but it has the many dimensions, for example, economy and environment. And this one may give you an example. This is about the climate fund. It is the good financial mechanism to reduce the carbon. It can be revolved to to take the industrial fuel far from the carbon release. If you don't follow this draft, you may not think that we don't have the information, but actually we are trying to open the floor, open many channels for the people to get involved. This is one of the factors that I talk, the truth that I talk. So we have to listen. We want to take the opinion of the people. We want to get the feedback, even we may think that it's not so easy. We would like to do that. We try to give the information for people to access to the information, and I think it's involve with the people. This fund, this climate fund, can be used with the financial institution or the people. I don't mean that we give the money to the people like the SME. They have to revolving. For this fund, it's different from the Clean Air Act. This one is when we have the financial fund, we have to check other things. For example, that they will have money to give us for the long term. And so we set many people, many qualified people, and some of them from the Ministry of Finance. Most importantly is the burden of the Ministry of Finance. For example, we set up the fund, how much money we have and how to manage. For the Clean Air Act, it is drafted in the committee level, which is different from this draft. Next one is the overview of ecosystem. Apart from the fund, there are the CHG information or carbon tax and ETS. I would say that you should have read the act that we don't use with the SME. May I give you an example? EUCBAM, carbon border mechanism is mean that they will get the company or the factory to pay for the state. I mean that the EU set the regulation about the fertilizer, about the steel. If these products are sent to the EU will check the carbon. If the carbon is excess, they will have to pay more tax. So EU set the regulation covering many supply chains, and now they come back to have a look that they say that they cut the ZME out from that portion. So the legal principle, we want to limit for the big company, the big entrepreneur, not the small ones. So for the transition of Thailand, for this for the screen, how to manage for the country that is growing, that they have to, that they depend on the avenue. So we have to gradually decrease the carbon. So to have the clean energy, this is the principle, the general principle in the world and the principle in Thailand too. We have to find out which point that we have collaborate with each other. If we can find out, so we can move forward for the sustainability. This is what I have to propose. Thank you very much for today. Thank you. Thank you.
ภูมิอากาศและสิ่งแวดล้อมนะครับได้ให้เกียรติกล่าวปาฐกถาพิเศษในหัวข้อก้าวสู่อนาคตสีเขียวกับเคลื่อนสิ่งแวดล้อมในโลกที่เปลี่ยนแปลงนะครับซึ่งในหัวข้อนี้ก็ช่วยให้เราได้เห็นภาพของการรับมือกับวิกฤตสิ่งแวดล้อมจากมุมมองเชิงนโยบายของประเทศไทยที่ชัดเจนยิ่งขึ้นนะครับต้องกราบขอบพระคุณเป็นอย่างสูงครับ
ค่ะและในช่วงถัดไปก็เป็นอีกหนึ่งกิจกรรมนะคะที่มีความน่าสนใจมากๆเลยค่ะในการประชุมวิชาการสถาบันพระปกเกล้าในครั้งนี้นะ
And next session, we will have the it will be divided into group two room today. One topic stay in this room, and another one is another room is opposite here. So before we have the next session, we will have the lunch break. You have the 15 minutes break, and you can participate which topic you like. As we mentioned, you can register from 2 p.m. to 2:15. You have time to register, and if one would like to return you can return
at the registration
ของปาฐกถา2ช่วงในช่วงแรกนี้นะครับก็
and the two sessions will begin after 15 minutes, and if you want to return the interpretation device, you can return to
ท่านที่อยู่ด้านนอกนะครับถ้าหากได้ยินเสียงประชาสัมพันธ์นี้แล้วนะครับที่ห้อง B1-1 นะครับอีกสักประมาณ5นาทีเราจะเริ่มเข้าสู่นะครับเซสชั่นของการสัมมนาในห้องย่อยอภิปรายในกลุ่มย่อยที่1แล้วนะครับเดินเชิญเลยนะครับ
Please be seated. We will begin shortly.
ครับเรียนเชิญได้เลยนะครับห้องน้ำจะอยู่ไกลนิดนึงนะครับออกจากประตูไปตรงไปสุดทางขวามือเลยนะครับจะอยู่ในนิดนึงนะครับแล้วก็ท่านที่แลกหูฟังมาอย่าลืมแลกคืนนะครับอย่าลืมแลกหูฟังคืนเพราะว่าท่านเอาบัตรไปแลกไว้นะครับเรียนเชิญเลยนะครับเรียนเชิญเลยนะครับตอนนี้วิทยากรของกลุ่มย่อยที่1ก็พร้อมแล้วเดี๋ยวให้ถ่ายภาพนิดนึงก่อนนะครับพี่ๆนักศึกษาเรียนเชิญเลยนะครับโอเคนะครับด้วยเวลาเลยจากกำหนดการมา5นาทีแล้วนะครับผมขออนุญาตพาทุกท่านนะครับเข้าสู่ห้องสัมมนาที่1นะครับที่ห้อง B1-1 แห่งนี้ครับจะเป็นเวทีของการอภิปรายในหัวข้อเรื่องบท
Today at this very room we have the thematic seminar on Parliament's role in environment, justice and governance. So we have the moderator from the Prajadhipok Institute. A big round of applause to Miss Kwan Khao Kongdesha, the academician of KPI. She is the moderator. Good afternoon, everyone here and also our audience in Facebook Live. Welcome to the KPI Congress, the 27th KPI Congress 2025. Now we're here in the seminar room B1-1. In the theme of Parliament role in environment, justice and governance, I'm Kwan Khao Kongdesha, a senior academician from King Prajadhipok Institute. It's my honor to talk to all of you here and also with our 3 panelists here, which each of them have expertise and practices to share with us. So we hope that we are going to listen to all recommendations and ideas from the panelists. If we talk about environment, is around us, is surrounding us. But when we talk about awareness, too often maybe the public may not realize how important of the issue is. So today, when we talk and discuss, it's not about Thailand. It's the global issue that the earth have the earth are facing challenges. So I will introduce each of our panelists. First, the Assistant Professor Dr. Phirun Saiyasitpanich. He is the lecturer from the Faculty of Law, NIDA, on National Institute of Development Administration. He is an expert on ecological and environmental law. He has all the publications, textbook about about environmental justice promotion. And there are many research and case studies about climate change to foster the awareness of the public about the climate trends. And we have Ms. Dawan Chanhasadi. She is the senior officer from and also the community consultant from Earth Thailand. She has more than 10 years experience about being the activist with the community in the issue relates to waste, pollutions, wastewater. Her life work is well renowned by the public. She has so much experiences on this. And lastly, the members of the parliament, the members of the House of Representatives. She is the members from Partyless People's Party. In the parliament, when we discuss or debate, it's about economic, it's about conflict, it's about violence. But she is one among another that keep mobilizing about environmental issues. So we mostly see her from the debate on the television, but she is here with us now. Dr. Saniwan Buaban. We have only 1 hour for these topics discussion. So we have 2 rounds of discussions. The first round would be about the background of knowledges and informations, and the second round will be the recommendations. So each panelist have 5 to 7 minutes to share with us. So this is how we organized this stage. So first, we would like to set the ball rolling from Dr. Phirun about the current situation in Thailand. What's happening in Thailand? What's the worrisome or what we should concern about environmental issue in Thailand? Please, Doctor, you have the floor. Thank you, Ms. Kwan Kao. Thank you, and good afternoon, everyone here. Firstly, I would like to elaborate on the outlook about environmental justice, how important it is, and how this is relevant to each and every one of you. So, if we look in the past, like the feelings of the how close the environment and people, because we believe that environment means to serve us. You know, water, air means to service us, but it's not, is in contradiction. Actually, we are blending. We are in the same supply chain. We are in the same cycle. So everything that we have done affect the environment, and the environment will affect your life eventually. So when we think like it's eternity, the water, the air, but it's eternity, but it's contamination or pollution in water, in air. Is that kind of concept or perception of human upon water and air, for example, is that perception is still the same, or we perceive environment in the same perspective? So above all, anything that affects the environment will have the adversary effect to the life of everyone. So as humankind, we are one in the life cycle of the environment. No matter how tall, the race, the religion, everyone affect equally. So this is the heart or the center of the environment issue. So we have both positive and negative effect from the environment, and is equal among us. When we talk about PM 2.5, so it's not only Bangkok. In Bangkok, especially in Bangkok, we have the impact of the PM 2.5. No matter you are the office workers or you are the people working in the market, in the fresh market, everyone affect the same. So when we talk about this, when we focus about this, everyone affect negatively or positively on environmental. So, and when we have the concept of the rights, environmental rights is also the thing that relevant to your life. You can imagine that we want to have rights in a good environment, have fresh and clean water to consume. But when we have hazard or danger from the environmental pollutions, everyone affect the same. And this concept that I would like to take you into the past, that how these ideas or how this situation developed through times. So the ideas on environment from the past until now is dynamic. It's changed 2 times. It keeps changing. In the past, we don't mind about this, we don't care about this, but today is a different ideas emerged. In 1992, there is a UN assembly in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. It's about environment and development. The issue of the meeting was environment and development. And from that, Rio Declaration was established. In that Rio Declaration, they mentioned it mentioned about the environmental justice and environmental right. And the principle 10 of Rio Declaration said about that environmental issue management could achieve with the following criteria. First, you need right to access of information. If you don't have the right to access of information, the environmental justice is the thing that you don't have to talk about. So information, right to information is the fundamental right. I just talked to Ms. Dawan about the right, because it's the right to the villagers to know whether there are projects to be built, to be constructed in advance, to make decision. So inclusive is the main thing. So after let's come to the second criteria is the inclusivity. Public participation is crucial, because after they have the rights to know the information, they have the rights to participate or include in every decision. And thirdly is about the mitigation and remedy after those affected by that impacts on environment. So these 3 criteria the right to information, the right of participation, and also the rights of justice. Since 1992, we have, if you look on researches about this, both in Thailand and in in international platform, we have since 1982 we have this concept of Rio Declaration. So the beginning of this idea, we can assume that the trend is started from 1992 after Rio Declaration. Oh, that is a very strong foundation about the background of the ideas on environmental rights. And yeah, you mentioned and you reiterate about the effect of about the impact of environmental issue upon all walks of life, all people. So this that has set up the agenda of raising the awareness among public.
I would like to ask the representative, the MP, Ms. Saniwan, because before you entering to the parliament, you are the expert on the environmental area. After you have been elected as a representative, what is your obstacle or challenges, and do you think the parliament is the institute that support the environmental justice and the good governance or not? Thank you very much. Before going to the environmental governance, I would like to tell you about the meaning of this word. The Ajahn Phirapon already said that to access to the environmental justice, the people need to access to the information and the participation in all area. I would like to mapping the term area of this word. What is the importance of the concept of this word? I would like to show you the picture that I would like to reiterate of the governance word. We already know and already heard about this word in our institutions in the both private and public sector. Many companies try to do SDG for the environment that Ajahn Phirapon, the Professor Phirapon already told you. We already have the index of the to show that institution have already governance or not. The first is the people can access to the to get to access to the information or not, and the people can have the chance to know about the process or not. This is the transparency of the public sector. If the people has not time to access to this process, they cannot tell you whether this project is good or not and what is the effect to the people. In the same time, on the legislative branch, on the law, we need a good law for supporting this process. This is the principle of rule of law. The importance of this rule of law for providing the area for people to participate in this process and have the chance for call for justice for them. If we have all elements, the people can have the hope and know their future, and they can plan their future, what the occupation they need to get. This will bring all of you to sustainability. And we look at the present time, we have affected for many sectors that Kundawan already faced in the past. Before I am the member of the parliament, I used to work with the other agency for fighting of the environmental issue, and we already know that many organizations have not had the governance, and they do not open the floor for people to participate in that process. And the people understand and know the project when it close to finalization.
ต้องบอกว่าคดีความสิ่งแวด
So you see that all the charges about environmental issue in the environmental cases in the Court of Justice and are very costly. So how ordinary people could have that amount of money to proceed the case or to file the case to the Court of Justice on environmental case. So people that struggle, many communities have lost many like millions of baht in order to do the process of illegal to have the legal process upon this, and they have sacrificed their time, their job, their future. They couldn't see their future. So how can they live their lives? So this is why I want to elaborate the situation on environment on Thailand, whether they have good governance on this or not. So even in Thai Parliament, our Parliament, we have both inside and outside activities, domestically and internationally. We listened. We all listened to the speech by the IPU Secretary General about IPU's work with the Inter-Parliamentary Union and other parliaments. Last year, I just attend COP28, COP29 about the climate change. And in the regional level, in ASEAN, we have the relationship between ASEAN members about we always we have the conversation about environment all the time in every stage. But in domestic, in our parliament, we try to use all mechanisms that we have to solve all the problems and challenges on environment. I have only 2 years experience being the members of the House of Representatives, but we have always debate on environment issue. I'm quite sure that the parliaments are not so emphasized on environment, but they put their emphasis on economic and political issues. But whenever you still breathe the air, polluted air or polluted water, how our quality of life is affect our health, and that's the hurdle of our efficiency in working and living our lives. So pollution, environment, and economics we cannot separate them from each other. It's the same issue. The PIPR Act that just successfully passed the House of Representatives, but there are still many laws that are still under consideration. The Climate Change Act, also the Forestation and Natural Resource Management Act, they are still in the pipeline of the consideration in the Parliament. So it seems to be that people are aware of this environmental issue. So environment, nature is a good start about the country's development. So it's not only academic issue, but it's about well-being of all citizens. And I think both of you say the same thing, that the participation democracy is the key factors, because it's the basic rights, the foundation rights to rights to justice, rights to information, and rights to participate is the basic rights for people in democracy. Thank you very much. So next, Ms. Dhawan, I would like to hear from you about the experience being the activist in your entire life. So please share with us about the situation of Thai environment issue.
Do I have any gap or challenges, and what we need to dive in, and what the point that Parliament can support? So good afternoon, everyone, and it is a great honor for me to participate in this stage. All two speakers already told you that about the governmental justice and the governance of justice. It is hard for the people to access of these 2 points. The participation of people to any project is very difficult. According to the Information Act, the people have the right to know all information. If you have one industry to establish it next to your house, the people it's very difficult to people to know their information, because it's all of companies said that this is a right of company for their information. For people who need to oppose the project that come to their community is very difficult. For me, I start as I am the people who live and who affected from the project of Khong Dan project. I submit many complaints to many organizations, but it's very difficult for me. But I have a chance, one channel for submitting my complaint to the Committee of the Environment on Environment. For me, the process of the complaints or the oversight of the committee from both houses is the process that can help us to oversight, to check whether that project will affect of the quality of life of people or not. The thing that happened with the Khong Dan project, with inappropriated constructed in the wrong area. This is an example that we use the mechanism of the Parliament to drive in this complaint. I have a chance to be a member of the Committee of on Environment, and I see the channel that provide the chance for the people to check any project that affect to their life. Because in Thailand we have 3 branches of the government of the national our country. I have a chance to be a part of the committee to check every industry that affect to the quality of the environment, and I try to put this topic to the government and for check the policy that, for example, the current policy that support the recycle industry. This law will affect the cycle of recycle because we have not enough waste for using in this industry. that is why we need to import the waste for other countries. The result of this project is we have many waste that cannot be destroyed in Thailand. And this affects the pollution in air and in water in Thailand. For my work, we have many areas that affected for this pollution, this waste, and we use a lot of money for reform of the area that affect of this pollution. For example, the of
1,300
we need about 13 billion baht in order to restore the adverse impact of those factories. So when we talk about environment, we cannot talk only about the environmental justice or environmental good governance. What we want to say is the one who caused or the one who released those pollution is the act of crime to the environment. So whoever commit a crime on environment, they must take responsible for that. So we cannot let those people walk away, because this will have very bad effect on the country, because we need a large amount of tax in order to remedy or to recover what had happened. You see that there are transnational crime, there are criminal organizations about environment in Thailand. So if the group of people act in accordance with the crime act, we need to tackle this problem. So this one that I want to ask the collaboration with the parliament. This is not about like money laundering. This is the specific crime. This is the crime on environment. It can be as same as the crime on money laundering, because the crime on environment, they make profit from that, and they transfer those profit into their clans. And if we use the law on money laundering, we can trace and freeze all that asset from those crimes. Oh, that's the same issue with the members of with the MP. We need environment justice, but many people, the citizens, cannot have the access to justice system. So we need our power. We need our soul. The parliament is the very important channel for the people to voice their suffer, or to have the public participation through to the parliament. So I think parliament play a very important role in channeling the voices of people in tackle these issues. So you mentioned about environmental justice. The right to have the remedy, and the right to have the mitigation, the access to justice, and also it's about public participation. It's about inclusivity, and this is different things, maybe different from the theme that we set. This is about a crime on environment. So it's the whole cycle. It's not about the rights to know information. It's not the rights to participate, and not right to justice. But we have to make that the people who commit a crime on environment need to take responsible. They need to be punished. So I would like to have further question about all of your experience of your opinions about the policy recommendations or what we can deal with these challenges in a concrete manner. How can we make this topic, how can we prioritize this topic into our society? So maybe we begin with the MP. So as I talked earlier, and also by the presentation by each panelist, there are still loopholes, especially in laws. So as a representatives, I would like to say this way. We need to streamline the outdated law. We need to make a law reform. And we need the enforcement. We have to enforce the existing law effectively, because the problems, especially in environment, is about law enforcement. And we need to revise the laws, amend the laws, and also we need to have new laws on that. So I would like to talk about the laws reform on the environmental law reform. As Mr. Wan already said about the law on the impact, environmental assessment impact. It's about like you cannot all EIA all accepted, approved. So is that EIA or environmental impact assessment is really works? Is really serious? So we need another or other organization taking care of EIA, so that we won't have the conflict of interest issues within the EIA process. And it's about the project. But nowadays, there are many government projects like mega projects that have impacts in a wider range. So I would like to encourage the EHIA, because nowadays EIA and EHIA is under the Environmental Act, but there is no details elaborated in those bills, in those acts. So I already encourage the relevant authorities to have the ministerial regulations in order to stipulate the details, what kind of project that needs to have EIA or FIA. Because FIA is concerning about the plan and the projects in the bigger scale. So we need the framework, we need the law in order to control the FIA or EIA properly. And also environment fund. There are many problems on environment fund because it is so difficult to access, so difficult to use the money from that environment fund. This is another reason why we need the new law, like the clean air law or the climate change act, and we proposed another fund separate from environment fund, because so that we can use the budget on the money from that fund easier. And also there are many laws, PPP pollutant pay principles. So the people who pollute the environment need to take response. And there are many bills like the bills on waste management. Since 2 years ago, we discussed it about, because it's about monetary. It's the monetary bill, so it needs the approval from the government before submit this law to the parliament. So this takes time a lot. I believe that the waste management need to be deal at the origin, at the upstream. So we need to reduce the new waste at the beginning. Apart from that, apart from the law enforcement and the law reform and the new law, we still need the collaboration with civil society, academic society, private sector, and also the watchdog, the activist for monitor all the process, so that when people wants to put their claims or petition about this, they have to do it easily. And not only the parliaments, but also the council of ministers, the cabinet, there are channels to receive the petition or the claims, but it is so difficult. It is so complex. We need to make this channel a lot easier, especially the parliament, which is the place for the people.
Thank you very much. It is a good recommendation. It's a concrete recommendation and consistent with your work right now. Is a structure or the reform of the structure and the effective use and third party of the environmental assessment. What is the end for the future? And we need to adjust ourselves for in the plan of in the future, and the quality of the measure that we need to use. Khun Dawan, I would like to ask you about the concrete recommendation. It's very hard for me to tell you. Actually, for my work, I found that the big problem is the policy. The unclear policy that can tell the clear policy to the governmental officer that need to use that policy to their work. For example, the waste management policy. When the minister or when the current minister they rely on the one policy, and after that, when we change the minister, the policy have been changed as well. When they have the order to that factory, that factory who release the pollution to the environment will ignore that order, because they already think that when we change the minister, the policy already changed as well. We will talk about the policy. We have the national policy and the policy of the ministry, and each policy will not consistent together, and each policy is individual. It's very important thing that we need to reform. The thing that Saniwan already told us, if we have the good act, but it was amended before applying. I used to look at one law. It's very good law, but when they submit to the law has been changed after approval. The thing that we need to concern that what we have to do in reality after when the ministry have their regulation themselves, that less the importance of that law. The thing that already happened, I think, is very bad thing, because the law is very good law. But when the ministry use that law, they have to comply with the principle of that law. Next, even that law is good or bad, the officer who use that law is the officer, the government officer is the key point that can implement the law to the benefit of the people. I would like to ask the parliament like this. This is very homework for the MP. It is a good thing that we can have a chance to talk together today because the unclear policy is affect many dimensions of our country. So we have the cooperation to work together to tell the government that they have to create a clear policy for the benefit of the people, policy to the people. And
บางคนอาจจะมองว่ามันก็เป็นการเปลี่ยนผันเปลี่ยนแปลงไปใช้ในตัวกระทรวงต่างๆแต่รู้สึกว่าถ้าเกิดแค่เปลี่ยนนิดนึงเนี่ยมันก็อาจจะเป็นการ
If it is changed a bit, we can say that it is a violation to the people. And I would like to ask you that how to change the law concretely. Thank you. In my will, may I divide the role of the parliament? The first one is a lawmaker and law reader. We should start from the point of the importance of environment, as Dr. Saniwa and Kun Dawan have said. The importance of environment, how is it important? If we think that it is a requirement of the qualification of the sustainability, and environment is the important leading to the sustainability. This is the main one. So we have to start from the point to use for the role of the parliament. In the role of the lawmaker, we all have known that is that the legislation, they make the law, issue the law. So my question is, what is an environmental law? I have asked my student, is it important that it's about the law relating to environment? It's not necessary to use the word environment. Even the traffic law is relevant to environment law. So we should check those laws have is fair for any law. For example, if we ratify the law about the sustainability in any law, as Dr. Sanivan has said, we have the outdated law in Thailand. So how are those laws to be improved? This is the role of the lawmaker. When I was a university student, one of my lecturers said, when we study about the environment law, we should not focus on the environment itself. For example, what is a law pollution? In Thailand now we have so many laws, so many environment laws in Thailand. So how to have a look? For example, the legal mechanism. For example, for many acts talk about the environment, but the important one, who is the regulator to manage those laws? So how to improve the law? This is the role of the lawmaker. We have to have a look which law is more important and which one we should be mixed together. This is what we change the law. And the second one is the law reader. This is the stage for the people to talk about the law enforcement. In my view, the law itself, I would say that Thai law has been written in a good manner, but how to be enforced, this is more important. Another example that I would like to show you is about the people participation, but we should have the spectrum of the people participation. This is just a participation, just inform the people. So we said that we want to take the feedback, and how do we take those feedback to do later? So this one, I think we should take them to get involved for the law, to work together, to have the collaboration. We should have a look at which project should be implemented, which one should not. And if we think that, what direction of us, the level of the direction, so the stakeholder would know that we should have the same direction, I think will get more benefits for the law enforcement, as the law that has been written is in line with the international law.
Thank you very much. It's very interesting point. But we have some problem with our microphone. And air pollution, we are not familiar of the technical word, but we already saw this word in the law because they use it again and again. I think all of three speakers, we see the gap, and we can feel this gap when we work together in all of sector. This is a very important point, and this is not a new one, but it is a point that we can work together for, because I think in the next 5 years, the environmental issue is on eye of the people right now. If we have time, we would like to ask all of you that, are there any people who want to ask the question to the speaker or not? Okay. I would like to invite you in front of the stage. Good afternoon. I come from the Mobile Thailand, Voice Thailand, for the organization that demolish to the sound, the main issue.
Law enforcement.
Law enforcement. Because it's wrongly use of law and to the people. Do you have any or mechanism of the parliament for the officer to use this law to the people? Because we have many issues about the environment, about the drug, but many people, for example, the case of Hat Yai, we use the money around 300,000 baht for, and the people are affected for the issue of the environment, for the factory, for the industry, I think the officer is the issue of do you have any mechanism for the parliament for the enforcement of law to the government officer, because people are affected from the use of law from the government officer. I would like to answer the question about the parliament mechanism. We have many channels, but the first thing is submitting the complaints to the committee. For example, we have the Committee of Anti-Corruption Commission and other related committee for using the complaints. I'm not sure whether there are many cases of corruption of the officer in your region or in your area or not. You can use this channel to submit the complaints to the parliament. I think the channel for submitting of the complaints to the Committee of Anti-Corruption is a good channel, because it's the starting point to check whether is this true or not. I cannot hear the voice because they don't use the microphone. There are many victims that affect to the issue. They said that they affect from the use from the government officer. And when we submit the complaints to the agency, they take very long time, and they use a lot of money for doing the process, because everyone have to use their money themselves. This is a very important and very interesting question. The first thing that I want to focus is are there any law that use like a mechanism for supporting the people or not? And the second point is the group of the power people. I'm not sure whether I think the people need to talk together and talk to NGO or other organization to submit the complaint for many people, because it make more power for individual to submit complaint to the committee. If you ask me that are there any law or not, yes, we have, but we need a lot of power to submit the complaints, because if you go to submit individual, you can have it's not enough for complaints. Before, I think submitting the complaints by the document is the first thing that you need to do, and after that we have to check whether this is an important issue or not, because the parliament has the power to order the related organization, but we can ask all organizations to participate in the committee for answer the question. I have many evidence and many documents, and we will send to you.
มีคำถาม
Yeah, another question from the front row. Yeah, good afternoon. A senator. I may ask Dr. Rawan. Yes, and for the money laundering, is in the we have that law. We have a money laundering law. So I would like to ask you for the authority of the authority power for the section Section 51 of Clean Air Act give the authority for the local authority to seek and search something in the residence of people, and that one is the for clean air, just the clean air. But for this point, I would like to ask the authority, the official has a very much power, so I would like to ask this point. For the criminal case for environment, in case of Nong Pawa, and the actor who damaged the environment a lot, this is considered that they are a criminal. He's an environment criminal because if the actor is the juristic entity, they will be an environment criminal, as they import some the waste from other country and distributed to many factories. We can say that this group is a kind of a criminal organization. It's not just only people, but they coordinate with many people. So if there is the factory like this, it is the foreign investment. We can say that it is a foreign investment. I believe that they have a plan in advance. We have to check which visa they come to Thailand and which visa they register at the DPD, and they will have the document from the DPD to set up the factory, and the factory do something that have a huge impact to the people. And I have noted that the money that they imported in Thailand is a crypto and yuan. So we can say that Thailand didn't get anything from the factory. We just have the waste. You see, this waste must has gone to other countries, but they are not. They come to Thailand, and I have known that there is one group. They have a very good plan to do this kind of factory. If we don't help each other, so it's very hard to solve this problem. The problem is they register correctly with the DPD, and how can we prove that they intend to destroy the environment if we draft the law, the criminal law? Because the criminal law, they have to prove their intent, their intention. But if we cannot prove they have the intention like that, even we draft the law, it cannot be enforced. So this is what I have known. In the case in the Nong Pawa case, it is used the criminal law to sue this factory. In the past, for the Ministry of Industry, they didn't do for the criminal case, but for this case, they did. But I couldn't remember which section. But there is the judgment already, that is concerning the criminal law, that the factory intended to release the pollution or the waste intentionally. But for this case, in the case of under the soil, but this case they release the pollution on land or the surface, land surface. May I add more information, please? For the the lawsuit for the civil case or criminal case. For the criminal case, if someone would say that this factory do something wrong, they must have the evidence, and they have to do according to the criminal law. We have the section. They use the strict liability. They don't have to prove that this factory whether they intention or not. Just the section 96, we don't have to prove that one. Just we know that they release the pollution. For the criminal law, we have to prove beyond doubt. So for the criminal law, this one, they just do only the causation. Is mean the connection between the cause and the impact. If we can connect these 2 points, so we can do the lawsuit to them. And I believe that in the future, for the environmental law, if we don't have the law like this, we cannot do anything. For me, I think the people can use the environmental law to sue the actor. Can we move back to the Clean Air Act? As a member of the parliament, I think that this is the main law. We should have a subordinate law that the staff, the government official will be restricted for their authority. For the basically, I think for this case we should have the subordinate law. These are 2 good questions. We can share our views. We have to say thank you, and I have to say I'm sorry that we have as the limitation of time. So we just have only 2 questions, and I would say I'm so sorry. For our dialogue for 2 hours, we find that for the environment, it should be fair. This concept is the fairness that is in line with the sustainability. We cannot look at only the fairness. We have to do the prevention for the criminal. This is most important that our government should focus on this point. And I think after 3 years, I think we will have the draft, the law drafting. That the other one is the law enforcement. You will say that we have the good law, but the problem is the law enforcement. Or we cannot do it. We cannot implement it effectively. This is, I think, the staff or the authority to have the power, authority to do or to solve the problem, but they must be not a bias. They should be fair and have just. So I have to say thank you all 3 of the guest speakers, and thank you for the audience. And for today, the 27th, the KPI Congress, and next year we will have the interesting topic for next year. So this is the QR code. You can do the evaluation. then we collect your evaluation to make it better. Thank you very much. Thank you.